So now we're gonna start with the black. I'm actually gonna start on the forehead area. And right here, you can kind of do, you know, freelance, whatever you want. You could do petals for like flower-like, or you could do just little loops. We also have a hack that actually Maria came up with. And what it is you get any type of little, like a little cardboard. It's like cardstock. You get a little piece. You kind of fold it in half. You can put your pencil under it. So it gives you a little bit of a curve, and you just hold it like this. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna put black paint on the top. So you're gonna kind of use it as a stamp. And that way, you know, if you're not really good at, you know, very precise drawing, then you can always use this as a guide. And then you can always fill in after. So you can use the pot or on your hand, whatever you have it, and you can just dab it in. Just like that. And then you can use that to stencil. And that'll give you kind of like perfect kind of, it's gonna give you like a more precise look rather than freehanding it. It will probably won't be as even. And you can go over it a couple of times if you want it darker. And then after that, you can fill in the inside if you want it black, or if you want to do a color, you can also do that. We'll leave it like that for now, and then we'll do more detail after. We're gonna move on to the eye area. And for that, you can use any brush, kind of like, I'm gonna use this brush. It's a little bit harder. So you can just dip it in your black, and we're gonna do that eye area. So for the eyes, you don't wanna go too much. Your line is gonna be kind of like your eyebrow. So you're gonna go a little bit over the eyebrow and then just go all the way in. And you can either use black or you can use whatever color. I'm actually just thought about I'm not gonna use the black. I may just use outline it, and then I'll fill in with any color. So you can also do that, or you can use just the color. So I'm gonna use another brush just to outline the eye, and then we'll go back with the color to outline or to fill in the inside of it. Turn this a little bit. So we're gonna go right where your eyebrow starts, just right here in the front. And we're just gonna kind of go down a little bit. And you're just gonna kind of line it down and around a bit. And you're gonna go a little,
Mommy.
you're gonna go a little bit under the eye. So a little bit under here. And it doesn't have to be perfect. So kind of like on the bottom of your lashes, where the lashes hit, you can use that as your line. You can always go a little bit lower after, but I'm just gonna use that for now. And you kind of go up and around. And you go all the way to the brow. So I'm just gonna leave it like that because I do want to add a different color. I'm not gonna keep it black, so I'm gonna leave it like that. And I'm gonna do the other eye. So we're gonna do the same thing here. Just go on the brow. Go down a little bit, kind of round. You can kind of feel, if you feel where your kind of like where your eye socket is, that's where you would line it. But you can just kind of eyeball it. It doesn't have to be perfect. And you just try and make it the same. And you just go a little bit above the brow. So you kind of cover the brow. So that's kind of like the look that you want to do for now. And then another hack that we're going to use is we're going to actually use a pencil and we're gonna use the eraser part. We're gonna dab it on whatever paint you want to use, and we're gonna do the little design on top of the eye. Let me see. I'm gonna use probably this blue right here. So I'm just gonna dab it in and dab it on my hand. And then you can either do it all around the eye area, you can do it just from the middle down. I'm just gonna do it from here down. So I'm gonna start here. And then, you know, you don't have to be so precise because the circle is already gonna be imprinted because it's gonna be like a stamp. So you just keep going all the way or half, whatever you wanna do. You can either go all the way if you like that whole close up, or if you want it just right here to highlight this area, you can also do that. And like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. You can do it as you can, as much as, you know, just try to be, try to have fun with it more than anything. So that will give you a little bit more color. And then we'll add a little bit of jewels after just to make it a little bit more festive. Let's see. So now we're gonna move on to the nose. For the nose, I'm gonna use just the black here. And I'm gonna kind of just start in the center. Just kind of go around in circles a little bit to kind of get the tip of the nose. And then what you can do, you can either get a really pointy pencil, or I'm not a pencil, a brush, or you can also use a stencil. Just dab a little bit on the black. And you are going to just, I'm actually gonna do it this way. And then I'm just gonna fill in. So you can use it for the top for flowers or like a little print, or you can use it for this. Just to stencil the nose, you know, or you can just do it freehand. Either way, whatever will be easier. And you can make it as thick or as thin as you want. And you can also dab your white if you feel like it's starting to not crack but sweat off a little bit. You can either do the powder or you can just dab it a little more just to kind of keep it in place as you're going. And so that's why I like to start from the top down, so that way when you're working, you're not really messing up any of the work that you've already done. And now I'm gonna use the black. I'm gonna go back to the black again. I'm gonna just get a little bit of the black. And we're gonna do the mouth. We'll do a really simple design for those that are your kids are doing it, or you know, they're doing it on themselves, but we'll get a little bit more detail on the teeth so it looks more like a skeleton type. We'll do it at the very end so you can see how you get that done. You can start just like in the middle on the lips. You can kind of go a little bit in and just kind of do a line just to shadow it. Just right there. And now what you're gonna do, you go from the end of the lip just right here at the end of the corner right here, and you draw out a line just up to there. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. Just like that. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn your head down a little bit. So right here from the middle of her ear, I'm just gonna kind of measure it that way. And I'm just gonna kind of do another line coming out like this. And like a little loop. And then I'll do the same thing on the bottom. It's almost kind of like a mermaid tail type of thing after you do the shadowing and everything. And you know, you can either do it that way or you can leave it simple, either way. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. And like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. The main thing is to just have fun with it. So now we're gonna do the lines for the lips. You can kind of start in the middle, just so you can get your line, and then you can go on to the other side or to either side. So we're gonna start right in the middle of the lip. And you can go a little bit above. And it doesn't have to be a very exact line. And then you just gonna kind of measure, you can kind of do kind of like your finger a little bit less than that, like the distance where you would do the other line. Just like that. So you can just kind of eyeball it. It doesn't have to be exactly the same length. You just, you know, and I separated, well, you don't have to do it too separated because then it won't look as if it was teeth. We're probably gonna do about 6 or maybe 6. So right now, let's see. And you don't have to go all the way till the end either. You can leave it up to here. So we actually did 7, but you can do 6 depending on how much space you have too. Okay. So now, after we did that, we are going to go ahead and do the same thing, almost the same thing that we did on the forehead. We're going to kind of do right here on the bottom. So you can use the same little trick with this, or you could just do it freehand. We also thought it may be a good idea. You can also try it with the back end of the spoon. You can kind of dip it into your black just to get like a print. And you can probably use that too. So I'm gonna use this in the middle. So it just kind of gives you like a middle, and then you can use this to do the sides. And then you can just fill it in black, or you can fill it in with any color that you want. You can use any eyeshadow that you have. If you just have black and white, you can just do black and white. You can also, you know, if you have any jewels, you can dress it up and everything. I'm gonna go ahead and fill in the color. What? Yes. I'm gonna use a blue, and you can use either a matte shadow or something that has a little bit of shine or glitter. And I'm just gonna kind of, you can look straight forward, and I'm just gonna kind of fill in on the inside. And I'm gonna do the same thing here with the eye too. So keep your eyes closed. And if you guys have any questions, you can always just send a little chat, and then Maria will read it, and then we can help you with any questions that you have either right now or later on. So for this, you can go over the whole eye. You know, like I said, it can be any color. It can be as bright or as dark as you want it to be. And just be a little bit careful right here with the bottom. And you're just gonna fill in. There's not really a technique to do it here. You can go, you know, as bold as you want to go. You can do it lighter, or you can do it with more pressure so you can get more color in. You can also brighten it with a shadow after, with something a little lighter.
How did you make the headdress, Sylvia?
This here?
Yes.
That was actually, it was actually in, so we were kind of running out of time. And I had just an old headband that I didn't really use anymore. So I took off whatever the headband had, and you can use it with any regular headband. It just needs to be a little bit thick, so that way you're able to place the flowers. I use just a glue gun and glue sticks. These flowers are actually, they either from the yellow ones, and the little ones are from Walmart. And then these ones are from Michael's. I think these two I already had. So you just kind of place them, and you can go either all around, or you can just do them on the top. Just kind of play with it, and whatever, depending on the look that you want to do, you can do only one color, you can do many colors. Um, and you just kind of, you know, place them before you glue them, so you can have an idea how it will look, and then you can glue them. So you just make sure you get every little corner.
I saw that one before, a long time ago.
I just made it look in my head. I made it.
No, I'm not even kidding. When like the whole thing was starting.
Now I'm gonna use another shadow, and it's one that has a little bit more glitter, and it's a little bit brighter. So I can just do it in the middle of your eye. And so that way it'll kind of mimic almost like an eyeshadow instead of just one color. Okay. So it's almost gonna be not a smoky eye, but it'll give you a little bit more of a glam look rather than just, you know, a one color look. You can use a brush or you can also use your finger just to dab it on top of here. It doesn't have to be the brush. And I'm also going to add a little bit to the top right here, just to kind of make it a little bit brighter.
Sylvia, this is Linda. I have a question. So was that a lighter or a darker?
The one that I'm using now, it's a purple, so it's a little bit, it has a little bit more shimmer to it. And you can use a gold, you can use a green, whatever you want to use in the middle, just to make it pop a little bit. So it gives you more attention to the eye area, to the center, rather than, you know, like the whole eye. It gives it a little bit more dimension. So I'm gonna just use a little sponge for the fallout here. Just to kind of get rid of any fallout. And it's okay if it gets into the white. Let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna actually add a little bit of jewels just to make it a little bit brighter here on the top. You can also add jewels on the actual, the little dots that you did right here. You can do it on the dots or in between the dots. I'm only gonna do a few since we don't have too much time today, but I'll do a few just so you can see and kind of get an idea on how to do it. So you can use either the Halloween glue that they have, the spirit glue or spirit gum, or you can just use like a lash glue, and it can be of any kind. As long as you're not allergic, then you can totally use that. You're gonna put the glue just in the back of the jewel. These ones are a little bit bigger. I found them easier to work with, depending on how detailed you want it to be. And I'm just gonna grab it and place it inside. Just to kind of brighten it up a little bit. I'm gonna do 3 right there. And then I'm gonna do 1 more right here. For the glue, I'm gonna add a little bit of glue right here, actually outside in the middle of the dots. And I'm gonna place this little rhinestones in between. But you can also use it the rhinestones over the dots that you just did. So it just depends. And I'm using the sponge just to get rid of this right here. It gets a little bit messy sometimes, so you can just kind of use a sponge or like a little brush as an eraser. I'm gonna do 1 more right here. And after this, I won't finish the other eye just because of the time. I'll finish it after. So that way we can have a little bit more time and I can show you a little bit how to define the teeth a little bit better. So it looks like it has more definition. If you want to go a little bit more, you know, defining your design. And you're gonna use just like an angle brush or just like a little, a harder brush, but something that's really small too. And I'm gonna also be using the black. So usually I put it on, since this is my personal makeup and this is my daughter, I just put it on my hand. I dab it just like that to warm it up a little bit. And then I'm gonna just create a little bit more lines and definition on the teeth area. So I'm just gonna go from the bottom and I'm just gonna curve it in a little bit and go up. And I'm gonna do the same thing here. So it's kind of like a little diamond when you connect it to the other side. And you just kind of go up. And you just kind of keep going along. And you do the same thing to the bottom as well. Can you see it okay right there?
Shadows.
Yeah. Select your sample. Perfect. So I'm gonna do that side so you can see it. And I'm gonna grab just a small brush.
Oh, can you, push your head up so you can see a little bit what she's doing?
And then I'm gonna go with a little bit of a black shadow. And I'm just gonna go here in between the lines that I created. I'm just gonna go in a little bit and kind of brush them up to kind of give it that shadow look. So you have to grab very little shadow so that way it doesn't run everywhere. So you just point it down and then just kind of brush it up a little bit. And that will give you a little bit more definition in the teeth. And on the bottom, you just go down right here. And so close a little bit. So if you get, you can kind of see how it's mimicking the teeth. And I'm gonna use the same brush right here to create a little bit of a shadow with the same line that it's going. Just kind of bring it down a little bit with the brush. So it gives you a little bit of definition there. And you can use the same black from the line, or you can also use a little bit of the blue or whatever color you're using to kind of connect it. But if you want to just do the black, you can also do that. So we're gonna try and do the other side real quick. So we're gonna do the same type of line. Just kind of curve from the bottom up. And then we're gonna do the same thing here. I'm gonna try to do it a little bit faster so that we can see the whole effect. And then I'm gonna do the same thing here for the shadow.
Those shadows look great. Gives it depth.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna just really quick fill in the bottom of our little design here. I'm just gonna go over it with the blue. And so you can see if you want to get a little bit closer, just so they can see it a little more, and turn your head a little bit. And then you can also add jewels. You can, do as much as detail as you want after. Like right here, we already have this. So I'm just gonna go over it a little bit like this. Just to give it a little bit more of a flower design type. And you can do it with the black. And you can kind of see how it gives it a little bit more of a design. And then, after you can add obviously your lashes if you want to do a little bit more of a glam look, or you can do no lashes, either way. Like I said, you can use any colors. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just have fun with it. And, just do, just do how you would like it. That's pretty much the idea. Just have fun with it. With your kids, with your, if you're having just a party or anything an event that you want to go to, and that is going to be Dia de los Muertos, you just have fun with it. It's mostly, the idea of all this. So hope you guys liked it and have fun with it. If you guys have any questions, send in your questions through the chat. We'll be posting. Oh, that looks great. You guys look awesome. That's so good.
Not done, but
Yes,
It looks good.
you guys look great. That's awesome. Look at your
I
hair.
love it.
So pretty. Don't forget to post after too. And then we have a hashtag, I think it's Modern Latina. So tag us with all your looks that you created. Send us a picture so we can post it also. And let us know if you have any more questions.
Thank you, Sylvia. That was awesome.
Thank you, guys.
thank you, Maria and
Thank
Sylvia.
you.
You guys did an amazing job. It was such a great way to spend Thursday night. And my girls actually were following along. So it was pretty cool to see the creation come out. And I loved seeing everyone's different looks. So be sure to tag Modern Latina, take some pictures and share them. And then Maria, can you just share again where Sylvia, because you guys have your own businesses, if anyone wants to have their makeup done, do you want to just share again, Sylvia, and your information?
Yes. So
Yes. Okay. So more I want to share Sylvia because she's the talent behind this. Sylvia is actually an amazing esthetician, and her business is Aesthetics by Sylvia. She's out of Morgan Hill. So hit her up if you want to get an amazing facial. And my business is Pachuca Cosmetics. I've had it for about 11 years. So thank you for all the support. And thank you again for letting us be part of your quinceañera, Linda.
No, thank you so much. If you guys liked what you saw today, please make sure you follow Modern Latina social media channels. We have a lot of other events coming up. So please check us out. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Modern Latina is the call out. So follow us, and hopefully you guys can join us for more of these awesome events. So thank you again. Everyone have a good night. You all look amazing.
thank